Listen to a group of stray cats living together. You'll hear hissing, growling, chirping, yowling during mating season. But one sound is almost completely missing: the meow. Adult cats barely meow at each other at all. That familiar sound your cat makes when you walk through the door, when the food bowl is empty, when it wants your attention, that sound is aimed almost entirely at one species: us. Before we go further, why do you think cats meow at humans but not at each other? Drop your theory in the comments, then let's see how close you get. Here's what makes this strange. Kittens meow constantly. It's their distress call, a signal to their mother that they're cold, hungry, or lost. But as cats mature, that behavior fades. In wild cat populations, adults communicate through scent marking, body posture, and a range of vocalizations that mostly don't include meowing. Domestic cats never stop. They meow into old age, and they meow specifically at people. Researchers observing cat colonies found that cat-to-cat meowing is rare enough that it barely registers in behavioral studies. But cat-to-human meowing, constant, varied, and remarkably persistent. So the question becomes, why did a behavior that should have disappeared with kittenhood not only survive, but get more sophisticated? Quick question for the comments. Which do you think adapted more to the other? Cats to humans or humans to cats? Genuinely curious where people land on this one. The answer starts about 10,000 years ago, when cats began living alongside human agricultural settlements. Unlike dogs, cats were never selectively bred for obedience or specific work. They essentially domesticated themselves, moving in near grain stores where rodents gathered, and staying because it was convenient. But living with humans created a new problem. Cats communicate primarily through scent and body language, both of which humans are terrible at reading. A cat can leave a detailed scent message that another cat reads instantly, and the human walks right past it. Tail position, ear angle, pupil dilation, all rich signals, and most people miss them entirely. So cats did something remarkable. They took a behavior from kittenhood, the meow, and repurposed it for a new audience. Research analyzing the acoustic properties of domestic cat vocalizations found something striking. The meows cats direct at humans tend to be shorter, higher pitched, and more urgent sounding than the calls of their wild relatives. Some researchers have noted that these frequencies overlap with the range of a human infant's cry, a sound humans are neurologically wired to respond to immediately. Whether that overlap is coincidence or adaptation is still debated, but the effect is undeniable. Cats found the one sound humans can't ignore, and they use it on us. Here's a debate worth having. Is this genuine communication, or is it manipulation? Some researchers describe it as cats learning to exploit a human weakness. Others call it a shared language. Where do you land? It gets more specific than that. Cats don't just meow at humans in general. They develop individualized vocal patterns with their particular person. Studies comparing cat vocalizations across households found significant variation between individual cats, and owners are often able to identify their own cat's calls and distinguish between different types of meow: the food meow, the door meow, the attention meow, while performing poorly at interpreting the meows of cats they don't know. This suggests something interesting. The meaning isn't built into the sound itself. It's negotiated between one cat and one human, over years of trial and error. Your cat learned which sounds work on you specifically and adjusted accordingly. In a real sense, you and your cat built a small private language together. and neither of you fully realized it was happening. This one's for the cat owners. Does your cat have a specific sound it uses only with you? A weird chirp, a particular demand meow, something no one else recognizes? Tell us about it. We'd love to hear the strangest ones. And then there's purring, which may be even stranger than meowing. Most people assume purring simply means contentment, but cats also purr when injured, when giving birth, when stressed, and sometimes in the final hours of their life. A sound we read as pure happiness turns out to appear in some of the most difficult moments a cat experiences. One line of research has focused on the frequency range of purring, roughly 25 to 150 Hz. Studies in other contexts have found that low-frequency vibration in similar ranges can influence bone density and tissue repair, which has led some researchers to propose that purring may serve a self-soothing or even self-healing function. It's important to be careful here. This is a hypothesis, not settled science, and the evidence is far from conclusive, but it raises a genuinely interesting possibility that a cat purring on your lap might not only be expressing comfort, but generating it. And the fact that we find that sound calming too may be one of the quiet accidents that bound our two species together. We focused on domestic cats here, but purring shows up in cheetahs, bobcats, and several other species, and it's studied far less in those. If you know of research on purring in wild cats, drop it in the comments. We tend to describe domestication as something we did to animals. We tamed them. We shaped them. We decided what they would become. Cats complicate that story. They arrived on their own terms, kept most of their independence, and then quietly developed a communication system aimed specifically at us, one that didn't exist before we started living together. Your cat isn't speaking cat at you. It's speaking something closer to a language it built for you, refined over generations, and adjusted to fit one specific human. Every time it meows, it's using a word that only makes sense because we're here to hear it. So here's the question we'll leave you with. After knowing this, do you think cats chose us as much as we chose them? Let us know in the comments. And if you've been with this channel since the early videos, say hi below. We read every single one. If this changed how you hear the animal sitting next to you right now, subscribe. There's a lot more hidden behavior out there most people never stop to notice. See you in the next one.